to get the program to that point,
Well,
to win a championship, to
I think
finish in the top half?
I think the first thing is we've got to get our roster to where, I've always said this. I think college football is you're allowed to start fall camp with 105 student athletes, and I think you got to get your roster and that depth chart to where the fact that, number one, you got great competition in practice every day. Such a firm believer in that, and I think even more so this past year showed me that, to where when you're competing in practice, and practice sometimes becomes harder than the games, then I think the results of the games become so much easier for your football team, and that's an area we still got to continue to get ourselves better. And anytime change happens, and this isn't a knock on anything or anybody, but you're going to have attrition in your program, and I think you saw we had a lot of attrition, whether it was, I think it was all for the positive at the end of it, both for the people that left was positive, and both for us, going forward it was positive. But I think now it's about building a program where, recruit, retain, develop. That's always been the foundation of building a program for me, and it's getting that roster to 105. I think the second piece of it is, the development piece from our end as coaches is taking some of the success of some of our young guys that we continue to have, taking some of the success of our older guys in our program, and developing them now to be the best they possibly can be. And we certainly have got some good players in our program, and I think guys that showcase some of their skill sets on both sides of the ball. How do we get them to now take their game and continue to climb and continue to become better? And I've always been a firm believer of that, and sometimes I think, especially young players, when you have early success, that can be a recipe for disaster if you don't have the right mindset and the right determination. And I think that's our job as coaches, where we'll continue to develop those guys. But I think it starts with our roster, and then I think it comes on to us as coaches. Now we've gone through this conference for a year. What's it take to win, and what's it take to be successful? How do we continue to match our schemes to our players who we have in our program to give our kids the best chance to be successful?